person that is a celebrity started at nothing. Every person that is financially successful, every person that is an Olympian, every person that has done big, anybody that's done big, significant stuff, start at zero. Everybody starts at zero. And yes, some people are born ahead. Some people are born into better situations than others. But in general, in careers, everybody really, starts at zero, whatever zero is for them. And so I want to help people stop overthinking it, stop thinking. And it just comes down to comparison. And I battle comparison every day, and I fight comparison. I fight back at comparison every day because it's really easy to look and say, damn, look what's happening for him. It's really easy to say, wow, look how it's working out for her. But in reality, they just got started. And I do love the quote. It's cheesy, it's simple, and everybody's heard it. But it goes, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. If you ever want to be great at anything, you have to start. And so most people just never get started because they're overthinking, and it's analysis paralysis. And people never get anywhere because they never just take a step. If most people just take a step, in their, towards that relationship, towards that partnership, if people would just take a step, then they could actually get somewhere. But because everybody's sitting at home, what's up, Paul? So on Instagram over here, I got Paul. This guy shows up every night, man, and that's fucking consistency. That makes you win. People that are consistent at good things and good habits and good routines will just win eventually. If you just don't give up and you just take one step, there's this song that Stephen Furtick says, he's my pastor. Yeah, every night type shit, man. I love it. So for everybody here that, kind of knows me, I follow Stephen Furtick, and he's the homie. That's my homie, Stephen Furtick. Look him up if you don't know him. But he's singing the song. He's on stage at one of his events. He's like, one foot after the other. Like, you just take a step. And he goes, just one. How do you, every long journey, there's a Tao Lu quote. It's like, every journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And I think most people just need to take that single step. You take one step, you take your first step, and then you take your second, and then you take your third. And so it's so simple and it's so elementary. But as we grow to adults, as far as our age and our bodies and our brains age, we forget that it takes first step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step. You just take steps, and then you just go and you figure it out. And so if our brains were so dumb and handicapped as a child, as a baby, as they are now as adults, and so paralyzed in our thinking, we would have never been able to walk. So if we analyzed as adults, if we analyzed every single step in our lives so much, and we're so scared and so fearful to take a step, if we were that fearful and if we were that paralyzed at 8 months old, at 8 months old, or whatever age it is, around 8 months, maybe 8 to 12 months, if we were that fearful, if we used the same thinking, the same analysis paralysis type thinking at 8 months old, we would have never taken a step to walk. We would literally be paralyzed. We'd probably be crawling around on the ground like fucking worms or something. If at 8 months old, we weren't courageous enough just to take a step. And what happened when we took a step? It wasn't that big of a deal. Okay, so you take a baby takes a step and falls on their ass and falls on their face, and guess what the baby does? Just gets back up and tries again. And I know this is like stupid simple, and it sounds stupid coming out of my mouth, but then it's at the same time, think about how stupid it is that you don't just take a stab at something you want to do. You don't just take a step towards something you want to do. And so for a while, I was like, I don't know, man. I'm not cut out for real estate. I'm definitely not a real estate investor. I can never be a I mean, I don't know. It's cool that like Grant Cardone and all these people are big and shit, but like that's not me. Like, how do I even, I need experience to get started. So how do I get experience to get started if I can't get experience without starting? That's everybody's dilemma, right? Well, I need like experience to do it, but I can't get experience if I don't do it. So what do I do? You just fucking do it. That's what you do. And I know that it's so elementary, but our adult brains are so paralyzed and so manipulated by fear and what might happen. And because we've been so programmed, and look at the programming, of an 8-month old that is not afraid to fall on their ass, is not afraid to look like a fool, because they know if they keep trying, if they get back up after trying to take a step and they fall on their face, they know if they want to have a good life and if they want to succeed and be like the big people, the big humans, when you're a tiny human, they know they have to get their ass back up and do it again and do it again and do it again until they get good at it. When you're 5 years old and you're swinging a baseball bat for the first time on the tee, you have to keep swinging at the fucking baseball on the tee until you can strike it in the right angle and the right way on the tee. But for some reason, by the time we're 12 years, by the time we're a teenager, we can't comprehend that, and it doesn't make sense to us. And it only gets worse as we go because we're programmed to think, oh, fuck, I can't fail. If I fail, I'm toast. If I fail, I'm a failure. And I say this a lot, but I fail every day. And that's why I will win and make more money and be happier and healthier and joyful and live out my purpose and my passion and God's purpose and passion for my life. And I will have a God-sized life with God-sized dreams because I fail so much. And I want to help people stop overthinking it. If you're scared to buy a house, if you're scared to get into real estate or real estate investing, if you're scared to be an agent, if you're scared to make a cold call, if you're scared to knock on a door, and you just never take action, say, well, I need experience to knock on a door. Exactly. So knock on the door. Oh, I don't know how to call someone. I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to close someone on the phone. I don't know how to make a sale. The top business gurus in the world, the top entrepreneurs in the world, the top guys and gals in any industry, in any field in the world, when they started, they had never done it before. There was a time when Tiger Woods had never hit a fucking golf ball before, but he did it. There was a time when Elon Musk didn't know what 2 + 2 was, and now he's building rockets to take humans to Mars. There was a time when Grant Cardone, a mentor of mine, a great mentor of mine, his name is Grant Cardone. Look him up. He's everywhere in the whole world on the internet, obviously. My mentor, Grant Cardone, there was a time when he never had sold a house before. He had never bought nor sold a piece of real estate before. Now he owns 12 or 14,000 apartment units. So there was a time when my mentor, I'll say it again, Grant Cardone is a mentor of mine. I have many mentors. He had never done a real estate deal before. He had never made a call before. He had never knocked on a door. He had never seen a contract before. He had never done anything before. And now he owns 12 to 14,000 apartment units. There was a time when Michael Phelps didn't know how to swim. So what did he do? He just kept working on swimming every single day. But we live in this culture, and it's really easy to compare this in like real estate. Oh, that guy has so many deals. That guy has so much marketing. He has such a high budget. He has so many rentals. That guy owns 100 houses, or that guy owns, 300 apartment units. There was a time when that guy had never done anything before, had never made a call, had never closed a deal, had never made a dime. And so I am definitely my biggest critic. And I'm like, man, I'm so far behind. I'm going to be 25 this year in 2022. Later this year, I turned 25. And I used to tell myself I have to be a millionaire by 25. And so as I'm nearing now 25 years old this year, I'm like, damn it, I'm not a millionaire. I'm so behind. I'm not even close to being a millionaire. I've never even made 6 figures in a year yet. That's the first step. Thank God I will this year. Finally. But I have to think back to that and how I took the first step, just one foot after the other, one foot after the other. And so I want people to just remember that wherever you are, maybe you know why I sucked at math? Because I didn't practice math. I did math and I failed at it. I failed calculus. And I said, I'm bad at math. And so that belief made me believe I sucked at math. And so if I would have told myself the same thing in business, I'm not good enough to be in real estate investing. I'm not good enough to get on the phone and make a call and close a deal. I'm not good enough to just talk on social media and tell the world about my life. Then I would never have done it. And everybody that you look up to, Addison Rae, I don't even know where this shit is coming from. Addison Rae, famous TikToker, had once never been on a social media site before and had never put herself on a camera. There was a time when Steve Jobs had never seen a piece of technology before and never knew what a code was. I'd never seen a computer. There was a time, I mean, you keep going on. There was a time when all these people, so everybody we look up to, like you just, and it's so cheesy as well, but so simple. But Nike, just do it. Just do it. Just do whatever you're thinking about doing. Just do. And you should look up the Shia LaBeouf one. Shia LaBeouf, just do it on YouTube. One of my favorites. But you just do one call and then you do another call and then you get another house and then you get another deal and you just keep knocking on doors. You just keep knocking on doors. You just keep making calls. You keep picking up that book until you can read it. You read a paragraph of that book until you can read a page of that book, until you can read a chapter of that book, until you can read half of that book, until you read that full book. And you say, wow, I just took one step, one page at a time, one page at a time, one chunk at a time. But we think now, because of social media and what we see every day, we think, man, I'm at 0. This guy's at 1 million. How the fuck am I going to go from 0 to 1 million? But you don't have to think about that. You don't have to think about 0 to 1 million. You have to think about, okay, how do I make $1? How do I make one call? How do I make one text? How do I make one social media post? How do I connect with one other real estate investor? Me, Leo, send me a message. How do I connect with one buyer? How do I find one person that might want to buy a piece of real estate from me? So instead of thinking, how am I going to 10x my business? How am I going to 10x my life? How am I going to 10x my income and my network? Think, how am I going to just do one thing today? How am I going to take, what am I going to do to take one step? How do I take this first step to finding the right person to talk to, finding the right person to call? How do I find one homeowner that might want to talk on the phone? You just pick up the phone and just dial a number. You just one number, one step, one action step after the other. What do you do if you want pectoral muscles? You do a push-up. You don't go, oh my God, how do I need to do a 6-day split? And how do I need to go to the gym for 2 hours a day? And I need to have this many macros and calories and blah, 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 blah. No, just how do I do 5 push-ups? You do 5 push-ups and you say, okay, I've done 5 push-ups. So now how do I do 10 push-ups? And then you get to how do I do 50 push-ups? It's the same concept. It's the same simplicity. So I really appreciate, actually, I've come to really, I didn't like him at first. I've really come to be a fan of and really appreciate Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, and his content and his message to the world, because he takes all the complication and all the noise and all the hype and all this. We're getting all this distractions and all the bullshit in the world. And he takes all that complication and he just, you like the noise? He just slims it down so much. He just takes all the bullshit, cuts all the fat off of business and life and growth and habits and routine and taking those steps. Okay, what are you doing right now? What is just the first step? Because people are like, oh, Gary V, how do I be a millionaire? Gary V, how do I make $1 million in NFTs? Gary V, how do I build a marketing agency, whatever? And Gary V would say something like, what the fuck are you doing today? Like, what's one person you could message on social media saying, hey, would love to connect with you. How do you do your business? How do you, like, instead of saying, oh, how do I get 1 million followers? How do you build connection with one person? How do you build a genuine connection with one human? Before you want to have $1 million or 1 million followers and do $1 million in real estate or have 100 properties that you own in real estate, playing Monopoly, Well, how do I build an empire? How do you build an empire? How do you just take one step? How do you get one little block, building block and building block and building block and building block? And so I could have thought a while ago, like, how do I have a gross revenue of 2.6 million a year? But no, I'm like, okay, one thing, how do I find out how to get started? Who do I need to talk? Who's the first person I need to talk to figure out real estate? Who is the next person after that? How do I get 5 perspectives and 5 opinions and 5 experiences on real estate investing? YouTube is free. Instagram is free. If you can see me on this device, if you can hear me on this device that you're using, you have access to all this shit. Okay. You have access to every mentor in the world, every answer in the world, every strategy in the world, every money making tool in the world for the most part, all this stuff, all for free. So you can start there and then make human interaction with people, and you can message people on social media, and you can go to a networking event. You can Google or Facebook event near me, real estate networking event in Tampa Bay, real estate networking event in Little Rock, Arkansas. I mean, how do I do my first real estate deal? Google. Who is the best person in real estate in my county? Like, go on LinkedIn and type in real estate investor, and you will get a real estate investor in your neighborhood. The technology we have is unbelievable. What we have right in our hands, we have everything. But because we now have so much information, and there's so many different ways to do real estate, and there's so many gurus in real estate, and so many courses, and so many videos, and so much flash, distraction. There's this so much noise and bullshit that then we can't make a decision. Then we're in analysis paralysis, and we're paralyzed because we're so fearful of what we're so like misaligned, and we don't know what to do, where to go, where to start. Just focus on what is one step I can do today. What is the first step today I can take towards just being a little happier? What is the first step I can take towards finding the first person in real estate that I find a connection with, and how can I add value to them? How can I bring some value to them? And that could be messaging someone near you and say, going into let's say Tampa Bay or Fort Lauderdale. I see Molly. What's up? Gustavo, what's up, brother? I see you too. So you live in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, so type in Fort Lauderdale real estate person on any social media anywhere. So then you see John. John is a real estate person, doesn't matter, agent, investor, multifamily, single family, whatever. John is a real estate person. Say, hi, John. How you doing, John? Great to connect with you here. I see that you are into real estate. I have been desiring to get into real estate myself. I would love to chat with you. If you don't have time to chat on the phone, what would you recommend me for taking my first step into getting started, preparing myself to get started on my real estate journey? I mean, is that so hard? When you say, hey, when you're in school, you say, hey, teacher, how do we do the assignment? Or what do we include in our essay? Raise your hand. Hey, so we need to start raising our hands and saying, hey, how do I, like right now, I'm real shit. Listen to this. I am telling the world that I'm going to put together a 100 unit apartment deal. I have never done that before. Okay. Up to this point, we flip in wholesale single family houses. Okay. So we're doing about 5 to 10 wholesales per month. So that's it. That's pretty much my experience. I'm primarily single family. Sometimes we get multifamily, but I'm just projecting it out into the world that I am going to do a big deal. I'm going to do a 100 unit apartment building deal, either through syndication or through starting a fund. And to take it back a couple months ago, I'd never heard of syndication. I'd never heard of, starting a real estate fund, or actually, how do you actually start a real estate fund? Can you start a real estate fund as a, young broke kid without being some hedge fund millionaire, without being some Wall Street douchebag? You can start a fund. And you want to know how I'm starting to learn this shit? Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm literally messaging people. And so you might say, well, that person's way above me. But I'm getting, like right now, guys that have 500 apartment units, 1,000 apartment units, that do big multifamily deals, that do big real estate deals and have funds and raise capital, those things. I'm just messaging them on Instagram and LinkedIn, and I'm saying, hey, Charles, Charles maybe might be a bad name. Hey, Mark, what's up, brother? I see you crushing it in the real estate business. I see that you have experience using syndication in the syndication model. That's like a form of crowdfunding to raise capital for real estate, for big real estate deals like apartment buildings. Hey, Mark, I see that you have experience in syndication, and I see you're doing big real estate deals. That's awesome. I'm so excited to learn that. I really love to connect with you on a quick call and just hear about your experience about the business model of syndication, raising capital and funds for a big real estate deal. When could you chat? Would love to sometime and maybe do a deal together. And I'm getting great responses. So if you want to learn how to paint like fucking Picasso, you look up painters and you say, hey, brother, I see you have amazing art, beautiful art. Congratulations. What would you say the first step to finding my art, finding what I love, whatever? So you just do it. So you just reach out. You just ask for help. So two things that I've gotten so crazy out of here. Like, bro, I need to start a podcast. I definitely need to do podcast platform because people can take me in their pocket anywhere in the car and shit, and people just need to hear the stuff I'm saying, and I'll get more organized for sure. But the point is two things, is that 2 points of our programming: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. What up, friends? Hey, listen up, listen to me. 2 things about our programming. We're programmed to not fail, right? So don't screw up on your test or you're a failure. Don't screw up in school, you're a failure. Don't fail, don't strike out, or, you suck. And then that's so much of our programming. That's number one. Number two, we're programmed coming up, society, school, whatever, to not ask for help. Don't ask your neighbor for help during your, in class. Don't ask the teacher for help in the class or whatever. So we're programmed for those 2 things: not to fail and not to ask for help. And those are 2 of some of the most detrimental barriers and obstacles to any success in your health, in your wealth, in your real estate investing business, like I'm doing, in your salon business, like whatever that is. Those are the 2 of some of the biggest things preventing all humans, especially Americans, from unlocking their potential and doing what they want to do, because they're afraid to fail and they're afraid to ask for help. So don't be afraid to fail and don't be afraid to ask for help, because I have screwed up so much, y'all. I've screwed up so much. I've failed so many times. Yesterday, I screwed up a real estate deal. I was about to go under contract, and I'm actually probably saving the deal tomorrow to go under contract, but I didn't build enough rapport and trust. I rushed a phone call. I rushed a deal. And so I'm building up rapport and building up trust on this call to lock up this deal and get under contract. This was a house and then 2 empty lots. This was the north side of Charlotte. So buying land and getting land under contract to develop on. And I didn't come forth and really come across and build enough rapport and trust, because I was already thinking about, okay, what are the profits? What's going to be the profit split on this deal? What's going to be the spread on this deal? And as an acquisitionist, you really have to be super present and listen so actively to do well in acquisitioning and acquiring deals. And so in this state, I rushed it and I screwed up, possibly screwed up this deal, and I hope to save it. But because I wasn't focused enough or locked in enough to really build enough rapport and trust. And it takes time. Definitely in any business. But I just pick up the phone and I just do it. And I just do this. And I just learned this. Today, I put together 15 templates for SMS text campaign follow-up at a new drip campaign. I've never done that before, but guess what? I just did it for the first time. I just decided to go and do it. And I just put it together, and now it's going to be working. And I'm launching our new, text drip SMS campaign. And there's also an email campaign, follow-up drip I'm doing. So I'd never done this stuff before, but you just do it. You just take that first step at doing it. I had never thought that I would be acquiring properties like I am. I never thought I'd be working in acquisitions, like acquisitions and mergers, and literally bringing together deals and putting together, our house deals, our residential deals, our lot deal. I never thought. I'm selling right now 9.5 acres to a developer in Riverview, Florida. I never thought I'd be doing this stuff. I mean, until I did. I never thought I'd be doing it until I thought I'd be doing it. But in the future, I'll be acquisitioning and acquiring, buildings like I live in. And so I never did any of this shit until I did any of it. You guys would be shook if you people knew my family, man. My family is just, they're good people, but just backwoods country people, and they don't even understand my life, and that's okay. It's not, their job to, but nothing was born in me. Nothing was bred in me. Everyone I'm related to by blood would be horrified if a camera was on them, if they're in front of a camera on social media or doing a business or entrepreneurship or being on a phone call worth, $1 million phone call. And they can't even comprehend that. So none of this was given to me. None of this was bred in me. I just decided to just go out and fail and fail and fail and do it. And now I'm getting good. And then once you start to get good, through that, it starts to catch up in your health and your wealth and your income and your network, whatever that is. So I'm out of here. Anthony, thanks for staying on, bro. I appreciate you, man. I see you. Logan, AJ, Anna, Sean, JD, what's up? You guys might have hopped off, but I appreciate y'all. Have a good night. God bless. Happy Thankful Thursday. I'm so grateful for abundance. I'm so grateful for not being afraid of failure. I'm so grateful that I've always been brave enough to ask for help and reach up to the mentors and the people that have built me today and guided me and held my hand through hard times and good times. And that's why I'll have the best year of my life the rest of this year. And you can too. I want that for you. So see you guys. Happy Thankful Thursday. Tomorrow's Freedom Friday. Let's get it.